I once believed that freeing my mind from all agitation was the only way to overcome. But after everything I've experienced recently, I finally understand. Only when the right things weigh on your mind can the desire to protect awaken inside of you. And that turns your power into something meaningful.
C0 Showcase, let's go. Hello everybody, my name is Sam. I make waifu-related content, and today's video, we're going to do a C0 4-star weapon showcase with Shenhe, the newest support that just came to Genshin Impact, and we're going to showcase what she can do at C0 level 90, and we're also going to see the interactions she can do with other characters as well, and then show a little bit of a Spiral Abyss showcase at the end. So without further ado, let's get into it. So let's go ahead and see my build for this video. We are rocking the level 90 Wavebreaker's Fin, R5. Artifacts are 2-piece Shimano, 2-piece Gladiator. Here is my flower. Here's my off-piece feather, my sands piece, my goblet, and my circlet. All in all together, my attack is 3,350. As you can see, my crit rate to crit damage ratio is terrible. But you know what's the good thing? You don't really need crit rate for a support build. All you're going to be doing is basically boosting up your crowd character's attacks. So you're really not focusing on damaging with Shenhe in a support build like this. Constellation 0, 788 talents. In order to showcase Shenhe's abilities at C0, let's go ahead and say hi to our friend Masanori. As you can see, Shenhe's normal attacks aren't really the best. She actually has low damage multipliers, even compared to a character like Rosaria. So unfortunately, we're just tickling Masanori's pickle at this point. When you press Shenhe's elemental skill, she dashes forward kind of like Zhao, and it's pretty cool, the animation, and it does decent damage with a crit hit of a 13k that you can see up on the screen. If you hold Shenhe's elemental skill, Shenhe will drift back and release a cryo phantom and will do more damage with this hit. It's honestly really cool. No pun intended, I swear. Shenhe's elemental burst creates an AoE field of cryo, doing damage over time and increasing every character's cryo damage whoever's inside her burst. Really beautiful animation, and as far as aesthetics, I'm just impressed overall with Shenhe and her whole kit. And quickly may I add, I am really a big fan of her English voice actor. She did a great job doing all the voice lines for Shenhe. So for this video, we're going to be seeing how much damage she's going to be boosting on my Ayaka and Ganyu. But first, let's start off with our Ayaka. 999 C0 R1 Misplitter Reforged Ayaka. My stats with her is this, 223 to 256. And we're going to be using these same artifacts for DPS Ganyu when we get to her. Let's just see how much damage my Ayaka can do by herself. And since I can't freeze the boss enemies, I will be adding crit rate.
Beg for mercy.
So as you can see, these will be the values we will be comparing whenever we do our Shenhe buffs and other buffs as well. Okay, so now we're going to test just her elemental skill ability with Kamisato Ayaka to see how much damage she's going to buff.
Vengeance will be mine. Embrace the ice.
You can see the damage increase she gave us just by her Spirit Communion Seal passive skill, as well as her Icy Quill stacks. And you may have noticed those Icy Quill stacks did get consumed right away because her hold elemental skill only gives us 5 triggers. I also did not show you the elemental skill difference, so let me just do it real quick on this Rune Guard.
My apologies.
Now let's go ahead and see how much she can buff our damage from Ganyu. With Ganyu, I do have the R1 Amos Bow. She is 999 and she is C0 once again. So since most of Ganyu's damage comes from her charge attacks, we will be holding the elemental skill rather than pressing it like we did for Ayaka, because that will be increasing our normal charge attacks for 15 seconds. And so that also means we're going to get 7 triggers for her Icy Quill, which means we can get like a solid 3 charge attacks off from Ganyu. Alright, so let's go and see what our Ganyu can do against this Power Registine.
Access denied.
So we are hitting consistently 45,000 per charge attack. Now let's go ahead and see how much Shenhe can buff our damage with her Icy Quill and her passive skill.
Transfiguration.
So as you can see, we got a significant about 20,000 damage increase, and we weren't even able to consume all of our Icy Quills, but that is how much damage we just increased with just pure Shenhe's elemental skill. Okay, so now I'm going to do a showcase where I use everything to boost up our Ayaka and our Ganyu. And by everything, I mean Mona with TDDS, her Omen buff, Kazuha's elemental damage boost, Iridescent Veneer Shred. By the way, we have 861 elemental mastery on our Kazuha. And then our boost from Shenhe.
Do your master's bidding. Unleash. Decided by destiny. Whirling snow. Whirling snow. Born of ice and frost. All hail. Do your master's bidding. Written in the stars.
Now at first I wasn't originally planning to do this in type of interaction, but I made a quick poll on my YouTube and I already deleted it right now, but somebody asked me to please make a comparison of Shenhe with Eula, and that's why you should comment on this video for whenever I ask like what type of videos you guys want in the future. Anyway, so even though Shenhe's kit is like marketed towards like a cryo units only, there are two things we can take advantage with Shenhe for Eula. On our hold elemental skill, we're able to boost up our Eula's normal attacks by 15% for 15 seconds, which can last for the whole rotation of her burst. And with Shenhe's burst, we're able to decrease the physical resistance of enemies by whatever percentage depending on your talent level. Are those two things enough for you to push Shenhe and your team over like a Rosaria or some other type of crowd support? I'm not going to go too into detail into that topic for this video. I was thinking about making a dedicated video for Shenhe and Eula together in a team, so if you want that video, let me know in the comments down below and I will dive deeper into that topic. But now let me show you the comparison of my normal attack just using Shenhe's elemental skill and without using elemental skill.
Illusion shattered. Beg for mercy. Transfiguration. Crush. Crush.
Now for the last part of the video, I want to go over my floor 12 showcases when I use C0 Shenhe with Ayaka and Ganyu on two separate teams. For the teams, I really wanted to use Kazuha and Mona in this team because in my previous video that I've made, I did want to showcase Shenhe's ability to work on this team. We have Mona with a prototype Amber, so she can be our healer for the team and our damage booster. Ayaka or Ganyu, whoever is the main DPS there. And then we have Shenhe, our new crowd support. And then it's Kazuha to swirl, lower the resistance, and give us that extra crowd damage boost. It took quite a bit of time to figure out rotations for these characters, so let's go over the showcases with Ganyu first. So for Chamber 1, I decided to save my Shenhe burst for the second rotation where the big dogs come out. So basically all I wanted to do was boost up my Ganyu's charge attacks and give her those icy quills. The mistake that I made and that I figured out after this floor is it's not a good idea to use Ganyu's elemental burst when you have icy quills. Because sure, Ganyu gives us 20% crowd damage bonus, but the hits from her burst consume those icy quills real quick. And by the time your Ganyu is trying to charge up her charge attacks, there's no icy quills left for her to take advantage of. And one thing I will say is that if you're using Shenhe as a support, make sure to pack her some energy recharge because it takes quite a bit to get her burst up again. There were some awkward moments where I didn't have her burst up when I really kind of needed it, but since I'm stubborn and I really wanted to make this team work and not change weapons, I just pushed through it, got my rotations down better, and I was able to pull through. But I will admit that Ganyu is a bit slow in his team and I just don't like that kind of slow playstyle where I have to charge up her charge attacks. If you have C6 Ganyu for some reason, hey, this team's gonna freaking work wonders for you and you're able to take advantage of those icy quills real quick. So on Chamber 3, I was able to play my rotations a little bit smarter. I did not use Ganyu's burst to start off my rotation, and I was able to take advantage of all the icy quill stacks and get some pretty good damage with my Ganyu's charge attacks.
Access denied. For Rex Lapis.
As one with wind and cloud.
Towards the end, I did run out of steam and I was kind of caught in an awkward position where I didn't have anyone's burst up. And this is where the energy recharge situation comes in for Shenhe and I guess the rest of my characters. But we pulled through and we were able to get some pretty decent charge attack damage from Ganyu towards the end.
Let me scry. No touching.
Wind strike.
Decided by destiny.
Now Shenhe with Ayaka, I found it way funner and way easier to do these rotations. For chamber 1, to eliminate the little doggies in the beginning, all we did was depend on Ayaka's charge attacks and they did the trick no problem. So that way we were able to save our Ayaka burst for the second rotation as well as our Shenhe burst. Once we caught those two dogs together and we were able to freeze them, we did do a whole bunch of damage with Ayaka's burst, leaving them with only a sliver of health. Probably better optimization on my artifacts and I will be able to do the job. And just for fun and just to be extra, I did end the chamber with Shenhe's elemental skill to increase the damage of my Ayaka's elemental skill, even though I really didn't need it. So for this chamber, we kind of had the same mentality as chamber 1, except this time I placed more value in Ayaka's elemental skill for my icy quills, and it paid off because we were able to do 95,000 for that elemental skill, and then we just kept charge attacking until those stupid robots died. And then for the big doggos, we waited for an opportunity to group up together in order for us to freeze and do our combo of Ayaka elemental skill into her burst.
Whirling snow, Kamisato art. Sumetsu.
As one with
The main difference that I did in this chamber versus chamber 1 is I placed more value in my icy quills for my Ayaka's elemental skill, and it really did pay off because it did do a lot of significant damage. The only thing that sucked about this run is that towards the end, freaking Ayaka went a little derp and missed like her charge attacks like 2 or 3 times, which kind of extended the time, but overall, great experience. I hope you enjoyed the showcase. If you are interested in waifu over meta content that goes for showcases, theory crafting, team ideas / combos, then go ahead and turn on the notification bell and subscribe to my channel because that is the best way to support me for free. And those likes and subscriptions go a long way for the YouTube algorithm. I will be making more videos over Shenhe and who she can be paired with, and I will be saving a more in-depth guide on my future Shenhe guide. Anyways, I love y'all so much, and remember, waifu over meta, and I'll see y'all in the next video.